40K from the vehicle once again. Just got out of the gym. Feeling a little down. Lost Saturday. I've won, like every time I go, I'm on a streak of RTTs, but I took Shadowmark Talon. Like the 3 people that voted wanted me to take Raven Guard, and then some person wanted me to take Shadowmark Talon, so I took it. Strengths in that detachment, being able to advance and charge with Phobo units, fall back and shoot and charge and all that jazz, which I used on some units. Didn't really use it for advance and charge on a Phobos unit because I never really had to. Shrike was my Phobos unit, and with 12 inches and whatnot, he's in pretty decent striking distance if you deployed him correctly or dropped them in correctly. What else is there? The reactive move in the movement phase is good. It's not as good as the charge one. The charge one makes another layer of decision making for your opponent, which gives you a little bit more flexibility. Allows you to really stymie them as well and not be able to pick. Makes them make really definitive choices in the charge phase where they already have all the information in the movement phase if you have the movement one. So anyway, I like the charge phase reactive move from Vanguard Spearhead more than I do the movement phase one in Shadowmark. What else they got? Enhancements are almost the same size as turn 1 deep strike, which I didn't take that. I just took the infiltrate again, which I probably should have taken the deep strike one because I played Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Blood Angels, 2 Liberator Salt groups, and then Beast Saga the Beast or whatever, Slayer or some shit like that. But I mean, the guy running the Space Wolves list was almost his entire army is proxied besides like Ribnar, which is kind of ridiculous, but we played it anyway. And there was a lot of moves that just because there's so many proxies on there that I wouldn't have made. And then he also, it was my fault, I should know that they have a turn 1 deep strike. I didn't realize it, and then that's usually, you know, you kind of go over that stuff just out of courtesy. In the beginning, I do that in mine. Like this guy has infiltrate these 2 people because I had assassin, and then my combat lieutenant both had vect. I always tell people, hey, these are vectors. You got 2 of them. So, and then when I'm Vanguard Spearhead, hey, I got this charge phase reactive move that I can make it so you can't redeclare. I got the sabotage strat. So I mean, there's things you just, anyway, that game I still won that one, but it was down to like 3 or 4 units, and just being able to uppy downy, which I had to spin a CP because I lost Athan because I put Athan in to kill somebody, and I didn't realize that this other unit didn't have just a 5-inch move, they had a 7-inch move. They would have done my math in my head a little bit differently on that because he was proxying Terminator Squad for Wolfen, so he had Wolfen that were Terminators, so I thought that they only had 5 inches of a 7-inch move, or I guess they'd have a 6-inch or whatever. It doesn't matter. I just thought they were something else. If I'd have known they were Wolfen with that, even an additional inch of movement changed to me. But and the guy rolled it really good. But it doesn't matter. Okay, so Shadowmark Talon. The benefits of that is when you have Athan doing the uppy downy for 0 CP. I see other ways in Vanguard Spearhead that I'll talk about here in a second that I could have the CP economy still. So I don't like it. Of course, the characters are good. Sean is good. Shrike is good. The enhancements are with the Vector is good. But when we go to Vanguard Spearhead, having, like I said, having that charge phase reactive move is pivotal. It's great. And then having the sticky objective sabotage is also pivotal. Granted, maybe you're on average, like let's say you could do 2 morals on somebody that walks onto the objective or then charges or moves or whatever on that turn. That's okay, man. That gets in people's heads. Are they willing to take that unnecessary damage? Maybe they do, but that little, you know it as well as I know, plink damage adds up. So they start hitting that, and then you go on there, maybe you're like my Terminator brick goes in there, wipes them off, re-sabotages it because it turns back on once you take it back over. So there you go. You do that. That one strat, being able to sticky and having it there continually, that helps a lot. And then you don't have to bring intercessors either, which you do in Shadowmark Talon. Essentially need those, which they actually did good because I stickied, and then at one time I lifted him up, put him somewhere else. I had him hold objectives where I needed them. So anyway, my overall, I was 2-1. My scoring was pretty low, in the 60s, which I'm not very fond of. Also, they changed the layout last minute, so I was kind of looking forward to building my list towards the layout. I think it was like 8 or something like that, and then it turned out they changed the layout 1. But anyway, 2-1. I placed like 5th out of 16 people. I guess it's not bad, but I've won every one of these RTTs with the Vanguard Spirit, with Dark Angels, Wrath of Rock, and with Custodes. So I was a little disheartened. I was hoping for a top 3 at least, but it's okay. I mean, it was some of that fun, especially my last game with Liberated Assault Group. Well, that was a fun game. That guy was cool. We were both rolling like super horribly, so it was just kind of comical to see the amount of Yahtzee ones and all the stuff that we were all rolling. Him and me both. So I'm not just saying, oh yeah, my dice are bad, which my dice were bad, but they I don't know, I need to maybe get new dice. I think some of them are weighted. There's like one dice that I see, it has like a little rub out on one side where the paint is rubbed off. And that thing, I see it, maybe it's psychological, but it's always on one. I always have to pull that one. But anyway, so Shadowmark Talon has play. I just think maybe I could optimize the list maybe a little better. I did some things I didn't do with Vanguard, like I just had the 6 brick of Scent Devs instead of splitting them up, and then not splitting up my Plasma Inceptors. Cost me probably the first game actually. You think, well, how could that be? Well, I had an opportunity to take 5 points from them and take a or 4 points, or 5 points total maybe with the Terraform. But I couldn't fit my 6-inch Deep Strike with the 6 in there. But if I had 3, I could still probably take out as one character on that objective, and then have the other 3 drop in and take out another one. Plus, I'd get Assassinate with that. But it would have denied him 5, and then, or probably 5 points. I think it's 4, and then Terraform's 1, and then also another 4. So maybe a 9-point swing there, which would have put me right there within the hunt. Even if you take into account me scoring Assassinate that turn, and then another card, I'd have probably won that game by a few points. Because I didn't have the small units being able to, because he's, you know, when you get those better players and they know how to screen out those units, even your 6-inch Deep Strike, if you have 6 people trying to 6 brick of those and being on Deep Strike, that's where I see guys taking that extra 3-man brick of Inceptors in the list like this. It gives you that flexibility. So that was my fault on that. And my Terminator brick, last thing, Terminator brick, I was run the Librarian, which maybe is just me rolling bad, but seemed not very effectual. It was like ineffectual. Got some, you know, obviously get some sustained hits, but it just kind of like canceled out some of the, even with Oath, it kind of just canceled out some of the misses. Whereas last game I was actually rolling like statistically average, maybe a little bit below, but still with the Ancient and the Captain in there, the attacks, and then be able to use the strat, the one like a strat for reduced CP. I'd rather run that Captain in there, because you can also use that to rapid ingress. You don't have to spin a seaport or use your little teleport homer. So you use that more as like a feint, you know. So I think I'll go back to either running the Ancient and the Captain, or maybe just a Captain, something like that. And plus the reroll charges, especially when you're rolling. Like I think I rolled, in all 3 games, I think I rolled a total, I rolled double ones once. I rolled 2 3-inch charges at least. So I snake-eyed it once on the charge, and then 3'd it twice. And luckily, you plan that out the right way. It works out. I think I made one of the 3-inch charges. I was actually right there, so it didn't really matter. But I was just like, holy crap, are you kidding me? But anyway, that's it. That's what that's how I like it. I'm probably gonna go to Custodes list, or Dark Angels, or I built the Ultra Ravens, and so Vanguard, Spearhead, Ultramarines. But right now I don't have one of the units that I need. I only have half of that, so if I don't get that and get them painted, I'll be running. I'd like the Dark Angels just would have felt really good in these 2 of those matches, because I went first, and first turn rapid ingress is a hell of a drug when you got the Lion. So that, and then having Inner Circle Companions with Azrael, CP economy plus hard hitting. Then you got Deathwing Knights that are sitting on objectives. Then you have the Ancient Weapons enhancement there in Wrath of the Rock, and you put that on like a Thunderhammer freaking captain, jump captain with some dudes, and you got a good smattering of devastating wounds throughout the army, good movement, good durability, and good hard hitting guys. Now the only thing is, do you take Synth Devs in that list like I did last time, or do I take Lancers? Or maybe a combination of Lancer, Reaper. But then I'm like, well, they have that one enhancement, give you 2 strength. Now what do I maybe take Eradicators? Get them the toughness 11 with rerolls, and maybe put a buy load just for lethals. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I'm playing with, but the core list is still there for the Dark Angels. 2 units of Deathwing Knights, Lion, Azrael, Combi Lieutenant, an Assassin of some sort. Avasar I was running last time for funsies, and he was fun. Did he do that much? He scored some points. Is he as effective as the Calidus? Probably not. Probably should run her and save the 20 as well. So we might do that. But what else? Who's in that list? Oh, then that list you do run Intercessors. So you run those Intercessors, and then you can get them to a good break point, 611 if you need to. So anyway, you do that, and you're feeling pretty good. It felt like I needed that list, or one of my custodes. A guy brought custodes and won it with a deviation of a Lions list, similar to what I run, but just with not as optimized, I don't think. Anyway, I'll leave it there. We'll go on to some other Warhammer topics here soon, and then prepare for the next one. And there's some GTs happening, but I just don't know if I can make them around the area. So a lot of these RTTs, I know there's another couple ones that are going up. They're going to be going around the area. So what that did do, though, the tournament has dropped me to number 3 in the Rocky Mountain region. So I'm 3rd place out of like 50. That kind of sucks. So I was 2nd, and I was hoping to get the top spot, but we got a couple more to do here within the next month or so. So anyway, talk to you later. Peace.